Hello everybody, welcome to the latest video. In this new series that we'll be doing, I will be doing a playthrough of the latest version of the Warcaster mod, although it has now been renamed to Bots and Beasts. I wanted to be a bit more safer versus IP issues. So it's more of a generalized steampunk warrior mage, but yeah, it's still the same sort of mod. Like all of the skills and everything, they haven't really differed except just with names and descriptions. So yeah, let's get started. So I like the goggles, and I like the red head. Okay. Choose our pets. An eagle. Belcor. That'll do. And we're gonna go on normal. That is very low. This game has a bigger issue with audio. Why is that so loud? Okay. That should be good. Okay, so one of the things you'll notice is that the description and name of the charge bar is different. So it is a steam turbine, so it's generating steam power, and then it's putting it into the adaptive force field generator, which effectively means that it's giving us flat damage reduction for physical and all elementals. So it's all damage reduction basically, up to 30%. So start to 0, goes to 30%. So that's the adaptive part, and then to make the other force field work, I've simply called it the Force Field Ultra Mark 7. And this basically just gives us flat damage reduction instead of percent-based damage reduction. So they are used for two wildly different things. So the percent stuff is now far more consistent between normal mobs and bosses. Primarily though, it's better defense against bosses, because flat damage reduction is pointless. So we then use this Force Field Ultra more to do with regular mobs now. So there's actually a nice balance between them. So, yeah,
I
let's
think
get started.
this is as far as I can go. You should carry on to the Estherian Enclave, but you're on your own. Warn them that the alchemist destroyed Torchlight and is headed their way. He may be there already.
Oh no! Okay, and as you can see here, what we have is the generic reward fix. So with a lot of mods for classes, the quest rewards are all out of whack. So there's two problems. Number one, if a quest gives a reward, it's probably looking at either the engineer or the berserker or the outlander or the ember mage specifically, and will give you rewards to that type. Because we are a totally new class, we don't actually get any options. Like 99% of the times, we just get our cash reward and our XP reward and nothing else. So what this does is basically give all classes generic rewards instead of their own class rewards. The second thing that's really important about it is that side quests break a lot of the time. They will just hard crash the game. So this also fixes that.
You have received a quest.
So the character comes equipped with light armor, and it also has two different types of weapons. We have the Railman wrench as our great hammer, and then we have the sword and pistol. Now I played sword and pistol as I was doing all of my testing, so I'm going to go and use a great hammer build this time around. So the first skill that we end up getting is something that all classes can benefit from, which is the frailty circle. And the frailty circle puts a runic circle on the ground, and it reduces enemy attack speed, movement speed, and physical armor. Whenever they walk in it. And that is for 3 seconds, so if they go out to the circle, it's still there for 3 seconds. We're going to get Flame Hammer. I'm actually going to remove those, because those are put on cube double for me. Now the reason we're doing this on normal is because while later on we will probably bump the difficulty up, a lot of the times I found myself facing and like difficulties, and I always kept on bumping it down to normal. Since the game itself is new to me. Now, just in case you haven't seen it, another thing that is part of this mod is the way pistols attack. So let me just show you that. They now fire like shotguns. That is because I wanted a way to get rid of the weapon trail, the projectile trail, because it's horrible, and doesn't make sense for fast moving projectiles. It makes sense for arrows and crossbows, but not bullet type stuff. But it proved far too difficult to do for me. I was spending too much time on it, so I decided it wasn't worth it. And somebody on Discord told me of a pistol that acted like a shotgun. So I looked into it, and as that happened, you just add a stat called rifle, and to the weapons itself, and it just makes it fire like a rifle. which is super cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't work the other way around. There is no bow, crossbow, or pistol stat that you can add to a rifle to make it into like a shotgun, make it into a sniper rifle, which is really annoying because there are clear shotgun looking, sorry, sniper rifle looking shotgun meshes that still fire like a shotgun. Now eventually I will try and actually figure it out and put a weapon trail on that, simply because it will be longer and it will look more distinctive, because there aren't many shotguns that look like sniper rifles, just very specific ones. But they should. They definitely should function what they look like.
I thank you for your warning, but it has arrived too late.
Okay, so we could
Alchemist
get
has already come and gone.
a
And it
pistol
was all
or a
I could
cannon.
do to prevent him from entering the Enclave. As it was, many Estherians were injured. And since the confrontation, Sir Commander Vale was...
Okay, we're just going to get the one that gives us the most gold, because we're not going to use any of them.
Yes?
Oh, that has 2 sockets. Oh. Another thing that I will be doing is changing shotguns as well, so they will probably have a longer range but a smaller cone.
Welcome, friend.
But would still be able to pierce and hit some, like if the 2 mobs were side by side, it should still be able to hit both. See, Rune Master, Mana Recovery. What does this guy want to give me? Clover Hoof. Oh! And Vitality, oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I'll
You
definitely
have
get
a
the Rune
new
Master.
quest.
Oh, I also have, this is from my first playthrough. You would have seen it if you watched the last video. So I've moved this across. And also the Grammar Hammer as well, which I found, again, at the end of the playthrough. So I'm going to be rushing towards 99 strength and 55 focus.
Greetings.
So that's going to be pretty cool. We're going to get that very early on. Right, cool. Right, Flame Hammer. And now we're gonna get heavy lifting. Really want the attack speed. Yeah. 2-handed weapons feel so much better when they have a lot more attack speed. 1 second, I'm just gonna take the effects down a little bit. That's a bit better. Just has a huge issue with sound. There's probably a sprite somewhere. So this won't be a rush to end game or anything like that. I've only completed the game once, so we are still playing it through like a new player normally would. Just doing everything they come across. I don't know what's important, so I'll just do everything.
I need your help.
That looks good. Strength 25 and focus. Yep.
You have
Okay, strength 25. Focus. Should be able to equip it straight away. Oh no, wait a minute. So flame hammer only works with great hammers. So unless that mace is a great hammer type, it's gonna work. Although I do think that maces do have typically a strength and focus requirement, like normally. So, I mean the grammar hammer does as well. Until we find a better weapon. This flame hammer that's always doing the extra 2 blasts is kind of what's keeping us from tearing our hair out. weapon upgrade.
My thanks.
Yeah, I think that's just a regular mace, isn't it? Okay, so what do we have instead? Ooh, damage. Damage for the pat. Point in. Since we're going to be using a lot of this tree, let me just tell you what's here then. So we got Flame Hammer. It's not any different than the Engineers. And there's a lot of this is Engineer basically. Shock Grenade, no change. Energized Swing, just a name change. Although the tier 3 bonus is fixed. In vanilla, it's actually broken. It doesn't give you 15%, it only continues to give you 10. So that's been fixed. Overload, same. Force Field, I think I increased the cooldown, so I think I doubled it. Otherwise the same. Rocket Dash, same. And Tremor, same. Although these were taken from, I think, various different trees from Engineer. Got Heavy Lifting, which gets a cast speed add as well. So initially, I believe, yeah, it didn't have cast speed. Now the reason we have cast speed actually for this is it's actually for cannon specifically, because Fusillade is considered a cast. So yeah, it works with Fusillade. We've also got Reinvigorated, which again is just a name change. Rampage though is actually from Berserker. So yeah, this tree primarily from Engineer. In fact, a lot of this build is Engineer. It's probably about a solid 60%. As the first class, I didn't want to go overboard with just adding new stuff. So I spent a lot of time just deciding what I should take from the others, and just make sure that the trees themselves made sense. Like there's a theme for an overall theme to all of the trees. So the first tree, Gunnery, a lot of that is actually based on the Outlander, but we've also got weight classes. So it starts off with the pistol and offhand weapon to use all of the pistol stuff, and we've got powerful attack, which is a way of getting rid of shields. So that's pretty cool. Do we have a socket? Yeah, a bit of ice damage. Where am I going? Upwards. Yeah, so increasing weight class. So it goes from pistol to shotgun to cannon. We only have... So in pistol we've got Shadow Shot, Rapid Fire and Tangling Shot. Those are probably stand-ins, but reasonable stand-ins. I have no problem with them being there. It's just they're not very exciting, and I do wish that I could come up with slightly more interesting things. So themes is a big deal for me. I want things to have a reason for being. One second. Yeah, so reason for being. So why does this Warcaster have what is essentially a nature spell? So Tangling Shot will move to the Warlock when I start making that. I haven't really even started Warlock. It's just an idea in my head. I've made a character model, but that's about it. So basically all I just do is add skills to it. So I'll do the same thing again that I did for the Warcaster, and that is I will take the most appropriate skills from the existing stuff, look at potential missing skills. So like there's a load of skills that were started or were just disabled by the developers, and so one second, let's go back to town for a second. Yeah, and they were actually pretty good. Snipe was one that was started, for example.
How may I help you?
And the biggest thing that was missing from it was just the ability to pierce, and I don't know why it wouldn't have gone into the game. So let's just see if there's any more Rune Master. I need better hands though. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Continuing on. So, yeah, eventually I'll just get around to adding some like initial skills. So with a much better emphasis on nature. So Warcasters are all about technology. So they're using these steam turbines and to do all of their stuff. The pinnacle of weapons technology, whereas the Warlocks are all, nature based, and interesting what I can come up with as a replacement for the robots. So that's a big thing. So bots and beasts is essentially there'll be like a almost duplicate tree here. So runes and beasts, and all of these bots here will get replaced by beast equivalents. So I'm thinking using nether stuff as a good starting point. So we'll see what happens there. I also want to go for slightly different classes as well. So although that particular tree is like two sides of the same coin, essentially, what I want happening is to fill out the types of classes. So one of them was things like bows and crossbows. I'm thinking of doing it bows specifically because it's even more centered around nature, because I wanted the crossbow to be part of the Warcaster, simply because it reminds me of the crossbow wielding knights from Menoth. And they are a war machine faction, so they use this instead of the equivalent rage mechanic.
Is complete.
So with the rage mechanic, haven't decided what it will be yet, but essentially this is all centered around, you have a large amount of damage reduction if you keep this full, but the thing is you're always using skills, and so that will go down. I want kind of an opposite effect, where you get say less defenses the more you have, but you have as the other side of that, like much better increase like damage, so essentially going for like attack speed and damage, but less damage reduction, and so you have to, yeah, it's essentially you still have to decide on which area you want, because I want that to be benefits and downsides to both, because that's what this is. This is, you know, there is a benefit to not using your steam, but one second. What do I want? Probably get flame hammer. So there is a reason to keep this all the way up, which is a huge amount of damage reduction. The downside is you can only use skills that don't use it. So, or you know, doing it with say basic attacks, which I do want to be a thing. I want you to have builds based on basic attacks as well. Not everything has to be a skill. Random pots. just occurred to me, we can go ahead and get our remaster stuff.
State your business.
Remaster.
Do you need something?
So it gives us attack speed.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good. Alright, so now 12% health as well. Let's see if there's a better mace or great hammer. That is kind of attack speed. Attack speed always just makes it feel better. I think it's technically less damage, but I wouldn't take it because of attack speed. I don't know how long these videos are going to be.
You have become more experienced.
Probably do it for about 45 minutes, whatever feels like 45 minutes. I also think I'm going to add a cooldown to Frailty Circle. Stop you accidentally spamming it. Like, there's no reason to actually spam it, it just... lumber sledge. Oof. Damn. Yes, please. Nice. What was I saying? Yeah, it just wastes mana. You never mean to do it, it's just... like, it seems to cast so quickly. Oh, and speed. Another secret mission hole. It's lucky. Big webfish. And cannon. Okay. Bitter tag. It's got a lot of health. Oof, blimey, I guess. Definitely change that out. What about these fishies? Spider for 15 minutes, mole beast. So that's stun. That's immobilizing webs. I think I'll prefer the not getting, like, can go over obstacles. It's probably better. Dex, no. save that. I don't think it does actually do that. Silly bird. Skull Hollow.
Hey, I just got a new shipment.
Cool. Cool. Another upgrade. Oh, me now, 120 health. That's good at this level, I think. I was only getting to around, I think I saw one for 450 near the end of the campaign.
Enough mana.
That's also not too bad. Although I'm not going to waste my points on vitamins or anything. Not at the moment.
You've become more
Care more about that grammar hammer than anything else at the moment. That weapon will last quite a while once I get it, and I'll get it pretty early. I think you get it sometime in like level 20, like early 20s. So an insane weapon through that period. Anything I want here as well. Armor shredding, elemental mastery, bulwark. Okay, probably not at the moment. I will keep those so that I can get both of those at 10, which is next level. Well, mana. Mana is always good to see. It's one of the things I really need to look into actually is mana costs.
Your pet has departed.
Developers made some really weird decisions when it comes to mana costs. So some skills are really expensive for what they do. Good example would be the spider bots. These are ridiculously expensive to cast, but they don't actually. The damage doesn't really support. Yeah, the investment basically. Like during leveling, it's fine, but when you get to end game, you would still use them for the like electrical prop and the stun and everything. But at which point you don't want anything more than a single point. So I wanted to change that. I want it to become a proper damage method, so I'll probably be bumping the end game damage. I'm not entirely sure how I do that because I haven't looked at the skill. So
Your pet returns.
I can already see the huge differences between the Great Hammer and the pistol and offhand weapon. With the offhand weapon, I had huge difficulties with bosses, which made me look into the snipe skill as a way of dealing with that. But yeah, this boss initially took ages.
Quest complete.
It's a really good boss killer so far, and but the Piston Sword was very good for clearing. So there's a fair bit of clear potential with Flamehammer, but it was really good. Ooh, another piece of Rune Master. Gearing a bit better. Focus attribute. Oh my god, what is it? Tons of Rune Master now. Tons of mana. Okay, so did a critical chance or all damage? Crit chance is cool.
Hey,
Gonna level
I
here.
just got a new shipment.
No. But it requires 46. Neato. Slower attack though. Okay. Oh, Phase Beast. Cool. Oh, I remember this the first time I played. spent ages on it. So be warned. At this stage, I think by the time we finish this, I'll stop this first video and pick it up again. Serious jam. There's no other ways of getting off that? Okay. So far it hasn't been that bad. Another mysterious gem. Okay. No idea how many that was supposed to be. Set that in. Feel like I've just gone backwards. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Thing is this even gonna be worth it? I have no idea. I hate it so much. I am totally lost. I'm just going back up there. Ah. Okay. Do I want to try and get the last one for whatever this is supposed to give me? I've also got this. Mana recovery per sec. Oh, yeah. Mana recovery is always good. What does it give me? I don't know. Probably another chest? And if I ended up getting a unique from one of the other chests, then presumably I should get a cool reward. So there, I need to get there. How do I get there? Okay, no, this is definitely backtracking. Pretty sure some of you are screaming at the screen right now. Oh god damn it. I'm wondering if it's like a double bluff. Cool, right. I give up. Okay. Let's just quickly get Act 10 though. Not Act 10, level 10. And then the next thing will probably be that pirate place in the next video. Oh my god, another secret fishing spot. I don't exactly know what you can get in here, but secret sounds cool.
You've become more experienced.
There we go. And then the pirate right after. Okay, so let's go ahead and get flame hammer and lifting hammer. Heavy lifting, sorry. Okay, that's it for episode 1. Thank you for watching.